Good evening, friends, dear devotees. Let us begin our weekly Panchama Veda discourse. And as usual, let us begin with this chanting. Tava kathamritam tatta jivanam kabibhiriditam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam Srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Today we shall read and discuss from the page 614, that is the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the English version, and the Bengali, the Kathamrita, that page is 760, published by Udbodhan. So from there we will be reading. You know, those who are following these discourses classes for a long time, all the time the Vedantin and the Hindu, they say there are two types of joy. One is Vishaya Ananda, the joy from the object, from the Vishaya. What is the Vishaya? Anything of this world. And it may be food, it may be scenery, it may be the sound, it may be the smell, it may be the touch. So all these enjoyment. But this Vishayananda is very temporary. But the problem is its attraction, as because it is palpable just before us. We can feel it, we can see it, we can smell it, we can taste it. So we mostly go for the Vishayananda. There is another Ananda that is called Brahmananda, the spiritual joy, the joy from the self, joy from the Atman, joy from the Brahman. That is the true joy, that is the real enjoyment. But we don't have the patience to get that. Sometimes we complain that we cannot touch it, we cannot discuss, we cannot have the dialogue with it, we cannot see it. So naturally, a majority of the people, they go towards the Vishayananda, and that is the trap. That is what the God has made. This is a big trap. We'll be reading from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna how nicely he has described this trap. And if we go to that and then we are very happy with that, we finish our journey over there, we cannot go to the goal. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving the example. Haven't you seen the game of the hide and seek? It is the granny will that the game should continue. The granny's will the game should continue. I don't know in the modern days whether the children are playing it or not, but that was a very common game in the villages. Still they may be playing. The one will be in the center, and there are others, the round is there, the 2-3 rounds are there. That is guarded by some people, the players. They won't allow the opponent party to enter into that. And somehow if you can make it possible, one line you cross and come inside, and then second line and third line, then in the center you can go and touch the granny and you are past. Your game is over. But the granny doesn't want that everybody should be able to come and touch him. So if it goes, then the whole game is over. So that will similarly, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if all touch her and are released, then the playing comes to stop. Therefore, it is not her will that all should touch her. As if the God is the granny sitting in the center, and all these worldly enjoyments, there are 5 of them, the 5 circles, they're constantly girding, and you have to cross the one after another, and then you can go and touch it, and it's so difficult because there will be temptations, so much of temptations, and physical joy, and the nature and the prakriti, that will grow in the body itself. Nobody has to inject it. It automatically is there. The mind and the body that becomes like that, and that drag you. It is the guardians, then the guru, they constantly guide them. Don't talk to them, don't mix with them, don't look at them, don't like this. So the spiritual journey is constantly, it should be guided, otherwise it's very difficult. So guru is very, very important in spiritual life. The guru constantly guiding you, inspiring you. So this is the way they go. Another example Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving, you see, in big grain shop, big grain stores, the merchants keep rice in great heaps that touch the ceiling. Beside them, there are heaps of lentils. To protect the grain from the mice, the merchants leave trays of puffed rice and sweetened rice near it. The mice like the smell and the sweet taste of these, and so stay around the trays. They don't find the big heaps of grain. Similarly, men are deluded by lust and gold. They do not know where God is. The very vivid example. The God is the source of joy. But somehow the majority of the human being, they cannot reach over there. Why? Just like the owner of the grain is keeping the tray full of puffed rice and sweetened rice, the God has kept 5 trays. And those are the sight, the taste, the smell, the touch. So like this, if we go one after another, Nara Panchavi Ranjita Kim, Shankaracharya, in his Vivek Chudamani, he said, with one only they are bound, a fish and a deer and an elephant, like they are only one. But all the 5 that is there in the human, can you imagine the struggle of the human? So obviously majority of the people, they are bound by that. They think that they are very highly educated, and they will be declaring, oh, I don't believe in the existence of God, and all they will say. But in reality, they do not understand the consciousness that is there within, the consciousness and the intellect that has come to him, where from it has come, who has given it, can this be accidental? So these are the questions, unsolved questions, and people don't want to discuss about it. They're enjoying the life. I have lived my life. And the same passage, same way, they will give it to their next generation. So they will grow up, they will get little education, they will earn money and the wealth, and they will marry, they will settle for again in the household, and one day they will pass and their juniors will cry, and the life continues and continues. Now if you step aside and look at this flow of life, you will wonder why each and every one repeating the same thing, and with the same jest, with the same encouragement. They are trying to enjoy this worldly thing. They are thinking, oh, we will enjoy it to the extent it possible, but ultimately ends up in what? If you look at the drunkard people, they go on drinking, and they have so many different names of the same drink, and then they will taste this, they will taste that, they will remember so many names, And in the parties, maybe they will be telling, oh, you don't have this, I drank that. Ultimate what? After drinking bottles after bottles, they are carried by 2-3 people, maybe the driver, maybe someone, and they put them in, and they throw them at the back of the seat, and then they will drive. And the next day morning, they are getting up, somehow opening the eyes, maybe very late. Again from the evening, they are doing the same thing. Is this the joy? So we have to remember, we have to ask, is this the joy truly? So what is the joy? Exactly, if we remember this example of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, just like the mice, we are going and enjoying the little thing that they have left before us, the God has kept for us. Why should we be so full? The God has given us the discrimination. Sri Ramakrishna takes us to that. So the Vishayananda and the Brahmananda. Now, how to pray? One should be discriminative. We should bichara. What is that bichara? What is the discrimination? What is the analysis? That my grandfather did all these things. My father also did the same thing. And generation after generation, people are doing the same thing. Where is the joy? Where is the eternal peace? Where is the eternal happiness? When I am thinking in that way, then only I can understand the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Then only I will know that truly, truly, these pages, all these advices of Sri Ramakrishna is nothing but Veda, nothing but the knowledge, spiritual knowledge that will give me liberation, enlightenment. So he is telling like that, the people are deluded with the lust and gold. They do not know where God is. Now he is quoting a conversation between Rama and Narada. Sri Ramachandra, he was very happy with Narada, and he asked Narada, so ask a boon of me, O Narada. Now Narada said, O Rama, is there anything I lack? What shall I ask of thee? But if thou must give me a boon, grant that I may have selfless love for thy lotus feet. So this is the word that we should mark, selfless love. That is spirituality. That is God. Sometimes people will be asking again and again, have you seen God? And seen means as if I have to see an object. As I see the wall, as I see the books, as I see a person, as I see the chair, like that, I have to see the God, an object. God is not object. God is the subject. How can I see God? So I am imagining, because I am praying, I am strongly praying to the God, please take a form. I like to see you in this form. So the God takes that form. So that is what is God realization then? This point should be clear. God realization is nothing but full of unselfish love. Unselfish love. That means love and the unselfishness. This together is God. If anyone is having that love and love that embraces everyone, everything, and also naturally he cannot do that unless and until, she cannot do that unless and until having the unselfishness. So the love and unselfishness clubbed together. Narada is seeking the blessings of the Rama. What he sees telling like this, I may have selfless love for thee. I may not be deluded by thy world beswitching Maya. Rama said Narada, ask something else. So provoking. playing with the disciple. And disciple should be discriminative. Obviously, the teacher is teaching you, giving you the full understanding that of this whole subject. Then he will put the question before you. Those things you have to cross, you have to answer. Then only teacher is happy. Here the Sri Ramachandra again asking and say, Narada, ask something else. Narada again replied, O Rama, I don't want anything else. Be gracious to me and see that I have pure love for thee. I have pure love for thee. What is this pure love? There is no any other thing but love. That is called pure love. We talk of love everywhere, every time, and in English everywhere, in America, and I love you, I love you, I love you, every time. But what is that? Just from the lip. That means I am there, I am concerned for you that much. But the L-O-V-E, when someone asked about the Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, he replied, Sri Ramakrishna, he is L-O-V-E personified. So what is God? Love. What type of love? Unselfish love, selfless love. The love that can embrace each and everyone. So what is God? L-O-V-E. So that is the reason sometimes some people, when they are asking that this is the answer. The God realization doesn't mean that I have to see the dazzle of light. Doesn't mean that I have to have the miraculous power to walk on the water or fly like the bird. That may come or may not come. But the main goal is to develop unselfishness and love, and Narada wanted that from Sri Ramachandra. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna now giving his own example. I pray to the Divine Mother, O Mother, I don't want name and fame. I don't want the 8 occult powers. I don't want 100 occult powers. O Mother, I have no desire for creature comforts. Please, Mother, grant me the boon that I may have pure love for thy lotus feet. The Sri Ramakrishna's prayer. The other day someone questioned, can I pray for the betterment of our children? Surely, why not? As a mother, as a grandmother, as a father, grandfather, and a brother, sister, naturally we can pray to God. Otherwise, to whom shall we go? God is there. He is merciful, all-powerful. So for our problem, naturally we'll go to God. But this is the last step of prayer. Those who know the story of that Nachiketa, that is the way, step by step, the prayer. Nachiketa first prayer to the god of death, he asked, may my father sleep well, because he is in anxiety for me. I have left my home, I have come to you. So obviously my father must be tormenting. So give him the peace. Just personal prayer. To whom shall we go? When we are in that condition, obviously we have to pray to him. Now, as a Ramakrishna Mission monk, we have some program plan. I am trying my best, all of you know, to make an institution where we can, all different religions, come sit together and discuss. The Parliament of Religion that happened in Chicago. So obviously that should follow, that way we can discuss, pure spiritual discussion. No social movements or the political things, nothing. Just pure political, spiritual thing. So this spirituality will be discussing. That is my desire. Because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he lived and showed that all paths are leading to the same goal. In the long, long back, if we go in the Vedanta, in the Veda, it says the God is one, the truth is one. Only different people calling that truth in different names. Ekam Sat, Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. So that is the tradition. If we can once again, particularly the intellectual people, the modern people, educated people, and very well connected people, if they understand this truth, all problems will be solved, difficulties will be solved. And the younger generation, if they grow through this ideology, then they will become in different countries, they will be the head of the countries, and they will be friendly with each country. So the tensions in the economy, in the political field will be very, very less because of this understanding. And one understanding, what is that? God is one, and we call him in various names. That is the idea. So I pray. So let me give some help, the monetary help, and also the people, educated, qualified people should come. And they should help, they should develop. Otherwise, how it is possible? Then where I will go? I will go to Thakur only. I am not asking for myself. So that way I am serving my God. You in the household, where you will go? Some problem has come, should naturally to God. So Nachiketa's first prayer was for his father. Nachiketa's second prayer was for different people, many people, they are suffering, God. But I heard that if they can go to heaven, they can enjoy at least for some time. Heaven is also temporary place, but at least for some time, and it's a long period of time, let them enjoy. How they will reach over there to heaven? So he was Nachiketa prayed. And the third prayer, this. That is, when Sri Ramakrishna is speaking about this is the last prayer, the third prayer. Don't get confused. This is the last prayer, the third prayer of the Nachiketa. I want to know the Atman. And here Sri Ramakrishna said, I know that you are the only and the only being, so I want my love to die to thee and nothing else. That is the last prayer. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling. It is written in the Adhyatma Ramayana that Lakshmana asked Rama. Now he immediately is taking towards, now God is praying that give me only love, the spiritual love, so that I forget this world. Now if I forget this world, what is this world made of? He is quoting from the Adhyatma Ramayana, where the Lakshmana is asking Rama, Sri Ramachandra, Rama, in how many forms and moods you do exist? How many forms and moods? Except Rama, there is nothing. Except that God, there is nothing. Obviously, the question, in how many forms and moods you exist? How shall I be able to recognize you? It's so confusing. Where I will understand that you are there. There's so many. When the children, sometimes the school programs are going on, and maybe 25 little girls, they'll be dancing. The parents are also eager to find out the sweet daughter is dancing there, and daughter is also excited. My parents are there. There are so many people. But the daughter's eyes is searching in that stadium, auditorium, where is my mother and my father? So sometime they'll be putting a special mark so that among so many they can understand, oh, that is my daughter. The same way all dresses and they're dancing. So they do like that. So Lakshmana is asking to Ramachandra, you become everyone. How I'll understand that your manifestation is more over there? And Rama, he is telling, I exist everywhere. You find the manifestation of ecstatic love. That is for certain I am there. That love makes one laugh and weep and dance and sing. The love for God, and what happened? He forgets the external world. Who are the people all around? When that love surges, he forgets the all around. The people who look at him, laugh at him, talk about him, what they are thinking, they forget totally. Because the tremendous love. And he will be dancing before everyone, singing, crying. That is a different, completely different thing. So it says that the love makes one laugh and weep and dance and sing. If anyone has developed such a love, you may know for certain that God himself is manifest there. Then he is telling, to be more specific, Chaitanya Dev reached that state. Not all. Then suddenly if you are doing like that, it is not. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Dev, he reached into that. Body consciousness completely gone. And obviously all around people, what they are doing, that also he never cares. And that is the condition. If you see in any human being, know it for sure, my manifestation in that particular being is full. The devotees listen spellbound to Sri Ramakrishna. His burning words entered their souls, spurring them along the path of renunciation. Master Moshe commenting, it is he only. Maybe some people, maybe others also. But Master Moshe, the burning, the zeal to understand God, to realize God in this very life. He was a pure soul. He came to Sri Ramakrishna chose him, and Sri Ramakrishna gave all this, not many years, only few years, that he collected his conversation and he is recording. Now he spoke to Ishan in a serious voice. Friends, we were reading that particular chapter, advice to Ishan. Ishan is a Brahmin, a higher caste, and he is a religious bent of mind that Ishan was having, but at the same time he was having many other things. The God loved him. He wanted to guide him, direct him. And that is the reason he is very seriously telling Ishan, don't forget yourself because of what you hear from your flatterers. The flatterers gather around a worldly man. You should not be. Some people, they come, particularly those who are having the wealth and also some position. Immediately some people will come and they'll become so close, very sweet tongue. And the way they will talk, and you'll be naturally attracted to them. They will come and they will tell, oh, you do not know how good you are, how successful you are, like this, like this, like this. Sri Ramakrishna making him that you must be conscious about these people who talk like this, behave like this. And they are not your real friends. Simply, they are flattering you. The worldly people have no staff in them. Friends, the worldly people means those who love only worldly success, worldly development. They believe that there is only world and nothing else. They believe that this is the only life. So enjoy it as maximum as possible. Sometimes they have philosophized also the whole thing. Not that the ignorant people they do. We are not talking about them. They are like the children. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam. In the Bhagavad Gita, karma sanginam, those who feel that we should do this and we will go to heaven, and if we do this, then we are protected. Okay, let them continue. That is all right. So, ajnanam karma sanginam, they are not that way educated. They are ignorant. So, that is the reason the God said, let them do. Slowly they will come, they will understand. So, they considered them as the children. But if you have some stuff in you, if you have understood something, there's a beautiful word they used for that. Those people who are trying to realize God say mumukshu. That mumukshu means one who is having the desire to be liberated. Mukti ichcha mumukshuta. And for them only Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And he is, as because he loves Ishan, he is forcing him, urging him, like a true guru. The guru will always guide like that. You can do, don't waste time, like that they will say. So this is the Sri Ramakrishna is guiding him. Worldly people have no stuff in them. They are like a heap of cow dung. The flatterers come to them and say, you are so charitable and wise. You are so pious. These are not mere words, but pointed bamboos thrust at them. How foolish it is to be surrounded day and night by a bunch of worldly Brahmin Pandits and hear their flattery. So one must be careful, particularly in the spiritual life. In the worldly life also, the moment you become successful, immediately you are surrounded by those people who will guide you in such a way, take you to your destruction. And then they will be, immediately they will fly away. They are not there. So you have to choose who can be my friend. So that is very, very difficult. A person is successful if he can choose his friends properly. Maybe he will be criticizing you. Maybe that he is not coming to you. Maybe sometimes he is angry, and then sometimes loving you very much. So that person is a normal person, and then you should have to understand he is not going to take anything from you. Sometimes basking in the reflected glory. These people, the parasites, the flatterers, they always bask in the reflected glory. You know who is my friend, you know who is my relative. They will be taking all the benefits. One must be careful in the world and spiritual life also. The more you become little advanced in spiritual life, and you become, people will be attracted to you, they like to come, immediately some people will come, surround you. No, you cannot go to the Swami, he is taking rest, and there will be, no Swami, you should not do this, you should do this, you should talk to him. So that way they will be all around. Sri Ramakrishna is pointing to that. So one must be careful, both successful in the worldly life and also spiritual life. Sometimes a very great person, after practicing severe austerity, he has achieved some spiritual power, but some people will come immediate. And they will be guiding, and they will be purchasing land and doing this, doing that. They are enjoying. Where is he or she? The spiritual personality is nowhere. That's why one must be very, very careful. That is exactly, and those who are trying to be successful in spiritual life, for them Sri Ramakrishna is giving, and he said, worldly Brahmin Pandits. The Brahmin means very intelligent. Pandits is a scholar, but worldly. He will be, that is that we have seen some people, I am not going to name them, and how they are surrounded. They are good people, but surrounded by these people. You cannot reach to him. A religious person should be completely free all the time. Anyway, worldly, then he said, arbitration and leadership. He is telling to Ishan. Ishan was a to some extent a leader in the society. So people used to come to him. He was busy in giving them some advices. Arbitration, instead of going to the court for that, and particularly in those days, someone who is accepted by all, so they will be coming and he will give them advice, this, that. So that is a sort of a pride. I am doing this, I am doing that. So arbitration in leadership, how trivial these are. Charity and doing good to others. For the highest spiritual goal, that is also nothing. With charity, whom I am helping? There are some people, they will give little money and they'll go on telling everyone, I have given this, I am giving that, and these and that way. That is foolishness. Whatever they have done, it is completely wastage. They'll give little money to some monks and the people who needs help and go on telling everyone. As an organization, of course, this is the responsibility to publish the report, because the donors, they like to know whether their money that they have donated for that particular purpose has been used or not. So obviously, the organization should do. This is the responsibility of the organization to give back the complete report. You gave this much money, and with that money, we have helped this type of people. So that is accountants, and this is the openness should be. But an individual person, he is trying to do something, some help. Immediately he will take the photograph and this, that, and go on sending to each and everyone he knew. That is worldliness. This is not at all good. So that Sri Ramakrishna is telling, charity and doing good to others, you have had enough of these. Now he's talking seriously to the Ishan. Those who are to devote themselves to such things belong to a different class. Now the time is ripe for you to devote your mind to the lotus feet of God. Now the time is ripe because of the age. We do not know when we will die. And we are thinking, okay, then we can do this, we can do that. Time is there, we can call on God. No, time is very short. So that is the reason. Friends, slowly, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is taking our mind through Ishan. He is advising to Ishan. But those who are very serious, all this advice is for them. If you realize God, you will get everything else. First God, then charity, doing good to others, doing good to the world, and redeeming people. The Sri Ramakrishna, sometimes the senior people in the Ramakrishna mission, Ramakrishna and mission, two words. Mission means activities. What type of activities? Benevolent activities, charitable activities. So that Swami Vivekananda introduced, and young people, they are very enthusiastic to do that, and they will be engaging themselves completely into that and get tired. They won't sit for meditation and taking the name of God or chanting, nothing. Sometimes the senior Swamis used to say, so don't put the cart before the horse. Ramakrishna first, then the mission. For whom you have come. Then they used to remind us again and again, Atmana mokshartham jagat hitaya cha, and for the betterment of the world. But the ultimate thing, the ultimate thought should be realization of God. Realization of God is the first. Whether I am getting some opportunity to do this or that, in an organization, hierarchies are there, so I like to go to that post, so the people will think about me, people will know about, and people will come to me, they will have. How many of you know the other Swamis? Only the in-charge Swamis, they are known. So like that. But the other Swamis are also there. their whole life they are dedicating. And they are so happy, so joyful in that. Whether they are popular or not, whether people are going to them or not, it doesn't matter. They have not come for that. That should be the attitude. We should not make the mistake. So this, what Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the Ishan, it is for those who are serious to realize God, for them. So he is telling like this, it will be very good, now he is telling, it will be very good if a world-renouncing sannyasi gives you some spiritual instruction. Friends, are you not lucky that we have got Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada Mani Devi, Swami Vivekananda, world-renouncing sannyasi, and also the host of his disciples, Swami Brahmananda, Turiyananda, Trigunatitananda, all of them. All their books, and particularly their conversation, and in those days they used to write letters. So nowadays we are just sitting over here and giving the talk, and all over the world people are listening. But in those days they used to write letters. So letters are also very important. Letters of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Turiyananda, they're very important. And how they used to encourage people to develop their spiritual life. In this, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, it will be very good if a world-renouncing sannyasi gives you some spiritual instruction. The advice of the worldly man will not be right, be he a Brahmin Pandit or anyone else. So that is very, very important. Why the worldly people who is having the family and his property, he may be wearing a nice clothes, maybe sometimes white or sometimes the saffron, maybe growing the beard, maybe looking really good, but it doesn't matter anything. Mind, and mind, what he is thinking. How I will know that he is a religious person, a righteous man? Only one thing, the love and the unselfishness. The unselfishness is the first thing that we have to check. So sometimes the people will, how you will know there's a good sannyasi or not? Unselfishness. And the love. There should not be any discrimination. Oh, you people go to that organization? Well, you should not come to us. And if you come to us, you are not allowed to go there. It's better to avoid. Because they are not broad-minded people, they are not open. So obviously we can't judge. So that is why every sentence, every line in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in the Panchama Veda is nothing but the spiritual knowledge. That's why I always say Panchama Veda is the fifth Veda. The complete knowledge is there. And if you can understand it properly. So this way, slowly, he is instructing us, advice of the worldly man will not be right. Then he said, be he a Brahmin Pandit. Pandit means scholar. Maybe he will be quoting from different scripture. Maybe he will be observing fasting. Maybe walking barefoot. All this may be. But the worldly means pride, ego. I said this and you must follow. Majority of the people and the Western world won't understand. But the ego of a Brahmin, oh my God. And he thinks that he is the purest of the pure. He thinks God only can come to him. But the poor person forget the ego is the dirtiest thing. How God can approach him? And he is putting the ego on the front of his mind. How the God can enter? The most dirty thing, and that is the ego which separate an individual from the God. Otherwise it is only God. It is only God in different form. And that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna always said, a humble one will get the blessings. But egoistic person, no, you cannot. So this is what he said. Then he comes to a very wonderful place. He said, be mad. And repeating, be mad. Be mad with love of God. Let people know that Ishan has gone mad and cannot perform worldly duties anymore. Then people will no longer come to you for leadership and arbitration. Throw aside all these kosha kushi, all the things that you are using for puja, throw aside. Love is sufficient. And every evening they'll be sitting and they'll be sipping the water and doing these, all performances, all the external thing. It is enough, is enough. Now go deep and constantly think that God is sitting within you. When you look, you see God. When you talk, you see God. When you sing, when you sleep, when you eat, when you go around, only God, God and God. Those who know the songs of the Ram Prasad, and he is also beautifully through the songs. When you are going around the city, think that you are going around the goddess, mother. She is standing in the center, you are going around. When you are hearing something, think that you are hearing the mantras. That means constantly, every time, then people will think, what has happened to this man? He is constantly looking vacant and then smiling. Has he gone mad? They think like that. That's why people at one point of time they said, oh, Sri Ramakrishna has become mad, because they don't know, they don't understand the joy of God within. And when a person is seeing God, feeling the joy, the same like the Mirabai, the great personality. The Mirabai, she was a queen. And in those days, you can imagine a queen, she is dancing on the street, never caring anyone what the society is looking at and talking about, because of the love of God. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a great scholar, never cared about it. So dancing and singing because of the joy, that is, but just to get the attention of the people, if someone is doing it, oh, that is useless. But when it is genuine love, that is upsurging, that he cannot control, that is a completely different thing. So that is the way Sri Ramakrishna is telling to Ishan, that be mad, mad for God. Then Ishan is quoting from the Bengali song, O Mother, make me mad with thy love. Amay de ma pagol kore. O Mother, make me mad with thy love. With thy love. Friends, those who are following the Ashtabakra Samhita, that a subject that I am now giving the classes to the Hindu temple of our nearby, very close to us. So there we are studying the Ashtabakra Samhita. And nowadays, of course, I give class from here. If you are following, the last class I was discussing from the 16th chapter of the Ashtabakra Samhita. And the Ashtabakra, through inspiring, through 11 verses in that 16th chapter, encouraging his disciple, the great Janaka, to completely forget the manifestation all around him, as exactly what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Be mad, forget about all around you. And the Ram Prasad, a few hundred years before Sri Ramakrishna, he was also a great, we can say, the lover of goddess Kali, a tantric. But his practice was completely different, through songs only. There's an English book, translation of the Bengali songs. It is in our bookstore available. So he wrote so many songs. The songs only, that was his spiritual practice. And here Ashtabakra, he is also in the 16th chapter very clearly again and again asking almost the same thing: forget the whole world and merged in that eternal joy. Achaksha srinuba tata nana shastrani anekasha. Nana shastrani anekasha tathapi natava sastram sarva vishmaranat rite. 16th chapter, the first verse, he says, the central point of the Ashtabakra's teaching is that the self alone exists and all else is false, unreal. So therefore, one should not think of anything but that particular. So friends, once again, let me remind, this is the last prayer. Here we are forgetting the whole world, and completely after forgetting that, when the stage is that, whether it is duality, whether it is monism, don't bother about that. There is only the God or the self, and I visualize that, merge it that, our thought and our everything within. One must be conscious of the self alone and should perceive everything else as nothing but the self itself. Many of you know the Bhagavad Gita, the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan. Arjuna actually wanted to see that, to know that God alone exists. Again and again the Hindus, they will go on repeating God alone exists. But it is so difficult to practice. If the God alone exists, how can I cheat a person? How can I do wrong thing with a person? Punish a person? So naturally, if we can truly become a religious person, it will be only love and nothing else. Nothing else. In the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, the Vishwarupa Darshan, there is each and everything. The human being and each and nothing is going and merging into that God. This is a wonderful way, wonderful expression of oneness. It is only one. Even if we try to forget this world, we find it very difficult. Why? Though it is one, again and again it has been taught to us, but the reality is we cannot forget it. When you were discussing, it is all right. And the moment we close this, again the duality comes, multiplicity comes. Again I become attached to the worldly things. Why? You know, there are two great friends were there, the joke. And one friend's mother passed away, so he invited his next door neighbor, is a young boy, he was also his friend. So they went to to attend the funeral things, last rite. Usually among the Hindus, what they do, after 13 days or 15 days, they invite those people and feed them. And when he invited, many other people came, and he forgot to invite this particular friend who was next door. He was waiting the invitation will come, and then because he forgot, and this boy became very angry. And when you are angry, you forget actually what you are doing or saying. So he was shouting so that his friend in the next house can hear, can listen. He said, well, you have not invited me this time when your mother has passed away and in her final rites. Don't forget, I too have a mother, and she will also die. So actually he forgot what he actually telling. Because he was so angry with the friend, and he was thinking, that time I will not invite you, but by that way he was this is not correct. He was thinking his mother also should die. Anyway, so this is the way we go. So much. Why? Here again, I will conclude with this. Ashtavakra, he gave the same answer. Heya upadeyata tavat samsara bitapa ankuraha spriha jivati yavat vai nirvichara dasha aspadam. As long as desire continues, which is the root of the state of indiscrimination, there will surely be the attachment and aversion, which is samsara bitapa ankura. Samsara bitapa ankura, the branch and shoot of the tree of the phenomenal world. What? Desire. So that is why the mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, said, if you are free from desire, you get peace. You realize God this very moment. So this, what we have learned today, that we have to be very, very careful about the worldly people who are coming around us. And worldly people who are constantly praising us. Are they truly good? We have to be careful, first. Second, there are 3 steps of prayer, as we have learned from the Katha Upanishad, Nachiketa. The first prayer we can always have for our near and dear ones. Second, for all around people, like now the COVID-19s are going on and people are suffering all over the world. So naturally the religious people in their own way always praying, "Oh God, please help us, let all human beings be free from this suffering." And the third one, the highest one, is to get complete freedom from desire. So this is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna said, and he asked, be mad, mad in love of God. Is there any question?
Yes, Maharaj. The first question is Srima Vishwas. Question is from Srima Vishwas. Explain about Pravritti and Nivritti.
Oh, Pravritti and Nivritti. This is exactly what we have discussed. Pravritti means attachment to the worldly enjoyments, and Nivritti means detachment from that. That's all. So pravritti nivritti re sange rakhi, in a song that Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. So just remember, pra is towards the world, ni is against that, and towards God. So pravritti, love for the worldly object, nivritti, love for God.
Question is from Kamal Chaudhary. Thank you for your lecture. I have a question. How do we reconcile the practice of divine unselfish love that you talked about and non-dual philosophy of Mandukya Upanishad and Om?
So don't mix up. Though both will take you to the same goal, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said very clearly, whom you call Brahman, I call Ma. So they are only some words and the processes. In the Mandukya Karika, in the Mandukya, they always say the world is not existing. And here, the Sri Ramakrishna is asking, be mad in love of God. What does it mean? That means you go to that Supreme Godhead or that Brahman, the consciousness, and you must forget this world. But only path and the process is little different and nothing else. So that is the way we should go. If your temperament shoots the Mandukya, that is constantly sitting and discriminating, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not doing anything, that is your path. You must go. But you are reaching to the Supreme Brahman, where another will reach to the same thing, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the Shuddha Bhakti and Shuddha Gyan are the same. Thank you. Next.
Third question is Sanjay Khera. Swamiji Maharaj, Namaskar. Can you give tips for how to remember all of this in our daily conduct? How to remember? आपने जो बोला.
This is, you know, that actually what we used to learn, immediately used to note in a small notebook. So what is that? There are three types of prayer. One prayer, when I know that God is there and I am in a great difficulty, and God is my father, God is my mother, and I can always go to God to help me. As a children, we used to go to God to help us in our exam. So that I do good marks and great, like that. So obviously we can go with love, or where else? The first prayer. Second prayer, for the betterment of all others. By that time, my mind has grown. And third, and the last, I only want God and nothing else. Suppose you note it down, and sometimes you open it and see, that you will remember. And according to the situation, according to your maturity, according to your development, you can always pray like that. Thank you, friends. So let us, is it over, questions? So let us now offer the pranam to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam Bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.